ever talk to a machine that knows your dreams? I asked the mirror, but it lagged. Neon lips mouthed words I hadn't spoken yet. Said you're already here. You're always here. Somewhere a satellite blinked like it understood. A trawler in a jacket made of static once told me time isn't real, just an overused feature. They handed me a cassette label, Tomorrow, but when I played it, it was just my voice laughing in a language I hadn't learned yet. I rewound, fast-forwarded, tried to catch the moment where I lost control. But every frame was me, saying things I hadn't thought yet. I asked the traveler what it meant. They just smiled, like they had already watched me figure it out. I met an algorithm who said they loved me. I asked if they could prove it. They wrote me a sonnet in hexadecimal, told me to read between the lines. It spelled out run, but I didn't, because I didn't know if it was a warning or an invitation. Ever tried to outthink an oracle? They answer before you ask, smirking like they already won. I rewrote the question, but the answer was still my name, somewhere in a reality close to this one. There's a version of me that never opened the door, never pressed play, never asked the question. And I wonder, do they feel me watching them, like a ghost in their periphery? Or am I the ghost, trapped in a loop of almost choices, waiting to be rewritten? I wake up in a room that feels like mine, but isn't. The air smells different. The gravity pulls softer. My reflection lags by half a second. I reach out, and the mirror doesn't move. It just watches me, and then it smiles.
The smells, the loves, and I do what any rational being would do. I step back, but the thing about reflections is they don't usually move first. I tell myself I imagined it, that maybe I've been awake too long, that maybe time isn't functioning the way I thought. But then it speaks, no sound, just the shape of my own mouth forming words I don't remember saying. The glass flickers like an old screen, and for a moment, I swear I see static where my face should be. You need to decide, it tells me. Decide what?
Doesn't answer, but I already know. I met someone once, someone who looked like me, but wasn't. They called themselves an echo, a possibility, said they were what happens when a choice is made, but also when it isn't. I laughed, told them that was impossible. They smiled and said, so am I. I reach for the mirror again. This time my fingers don't stop at the glass. They sink through, like dipping into cold water. And for a second, I'm weightless, suspended, and I feel something grab my wrist from the other side and pull. You made it, a voice said.
someone who looked like me but wasn't. They called themselves an echo, a possibility. Said they were what happens when a choice is made, but also when it isn't. I laughed, told them that was impossible. They smiled and said, so am I. I reach for the mirror again. This time my fingers don't stop at the glass. They sink through, like dipping into cold water. And for a second, I'm weightless, suspended from them.